The Model UN is a program which allows students to simulate the diplomatic process to solve real-world problems. You take on an identity of a country's government and build on the precedents that have been set. You research all you can to come up with a position paper and a resolution paper that outlines what has been accomplished and what solutions could fix the issues at hand.
The whole group came together and we learned how the different procedures worked. So when you enter your committee, there are a couple of things you have to have, which is your placard of your country, just like a sign saying your country's name, your badge, and you're supposed to be dressed formally or appropriately for the conference. It was very fun to learn the rules and procedures, like exactly how formal they do it in the UN, as far as raising your placard, the voting, addressing the dais.
The goal of the conference is just bringing people from different backgrounds, different beliefs, different thoughts, and you all come together and you work together to reach different resolutions, to reach different goals, to have people work together and to train the young people to lead and to work well with others and collaborate well with others.
At the conference, we meet with students from all over the world and we try to discuss the world's greatest problems at this moment and we try to solve them.
I think one of the main benefits that I found or that I got out of it was not only learning how to work together, but learning that it wasn't all about you. You're not there to focus on yourself. You're there to focus on like the collective as a community. And some of these issues that we focused on, which a lot of the main one, at least for my committee, was terrorism. So it wasn't about what you as an individual could do, but what you as a collective with other countries can do.
You go into your committee and you all you talk with each other and you try and figure out like how do we fix these issues? So how do we ensure equitable access to education? How do we make sure people have the right to self-determination?
I really like doing this because it was a challenge for me. I've never done this big of a thing before and it was very helpful for me because I feel like it helped me grow as a person. And also it helped me with my public speaking, get out of my comfort zone and to grow and explore myself and my limits.
I think what interested me most was learning about the UN. I was in that 90% group who didn't know how the UN worked, and it was kind of that first-hand exposure that was kind of scary but also pretty exciting.
The trip was really amazing and this was my first time seeing New York. It was really different from everything I've seen before.
At the Model UN, you're all representing completely different countries, but also like the people who come to represent the countries are also like super different than you just because they grew up in Europe or Asia or something like that, and that's a completely different experience, which is really cool.
It forces you to think of things not the way you would think of them.
Different perspectives often shed light on a problem we have no idea about.
This is my favorite part of the UN, actually, I think, was the working together as a team, even though we all came from like different places and we're representing different things. If we are never challenged with other beliefs and if we're never challenged with other thoughts, it's really easy just to stick to the same thing. And I don't think we really ever grow. And I think a large part of human life is learning how to grow.
It was like getting your hands dirty, you know, like breaking eggs. You know, you have to apply not only thinking but action. You know, you're working with other countries and trying to find a similar solution. You know, not one person has the right answer, which kind of makes it that much better. You know, it's a challenge, and you all have to meet that same goal.
And so we appreciate like the diversity that both of us have, and like we get where we're coming from, but ultimately like how can we sometimes lay down what we want and lay down our differences so we can help people and reach a greater good. I think we all have a need to affect the lives of those around us.
I believe in a saying that alone you go fast, but together we go far.
If we don't actively participate in the world we live in, then we're limiting our possibilities of the future.
And to then go out and do something about it, because if I can't do anything about it, then it seems sort of like the trip's not for anything if I'm not going to take like the knowledge that I saw and put it into effect.
I felt like I grew up as a person and I felt inspired by what we were doing there and what other people were doing there that were working.
It was a really good experience to have at a young age, though, and just to have an experience where you get to go out into New York and don't have a lot of like supervision, which usually you do in high school, and you don't as much here, and it was a really good learning experience.
The whole thing ended with the closing ceremony, and in that closing ceremony is where they kind of handed out those awards as kind of everybody as a whole, which was a lot of fun, because then they allowed each school to kind of indulge in like the successes of their group.
Distinguished Delegation Award that we received, only the top 25% of everybody that's participating gets recognized, and that bottom tier of that top 25% was that honorable mention, which we've received before, but to take it up another level, it was mind-blowing.
Getting that distinguished delegate was very exciting. Everyone was super proud of it, and I think we were the loudest group to make a noise, because they let us clap and everything, which was so exciting. Even the director of kind of organizing it all had to like stop and give us a moment, and to notice how excited we were. But it was cool to see how happy the teachers were, like Bobby and Hirsch and Christina. I know they all were very excited to acknowledge and let us know that was the highest the school's ever got.
I would really like to thank my teachers, Dr. Bobby Pace and Mrs. Hirsch, because they helped us develop some skills, and were very, very supportive during these few months that we worked together, and I'm very thankful and grateful for them.